Bluff City Media presents the No Bluffing Podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes. Now, let's get to the show.
Grizz Nation, what it do? I'm Evan Hayes. That is Jared Davidson, and welcome to the No Bluffin Podcast, where we keep it all the way real, all the way raw, and all the way uncut about your Memphis Grizzlies and the greater sports arena. Jared, another week, another episode coming. How are you doing, my brother? It's been a long week, a lot of things going on. How you doing?
Man, it's been a really long week, but no, we're good. Doing really well. It's the week before Christmas, so it's kind of like with the way my job's structured, I'm just trying to get to that where I have like that 12 days off between Christmas Eve and New Year's. So it's just trying to push through that, and especially when we hardly have any sports going on at a JUCO level right now, simply because it's like that week before Christmas and they all take like a 3-week break. It's just hard. It's nothing much to do at work. I mean, there is stuff to do, like get ahead on things and whatnot, but other than that, it's just trying to push through this last little go through before the end of the year. But no, it's been good, my man. How about you?
Man, it has been smooth. I'm home. As y'all can see, I am not in my dorm room. So what that means, good Wi-Fi, hopefully. Knock
on wood.
Knock on wood. Normally my house has pretty decent Wi-Fi, so hopefully all that is straight. But it's good to be home. It's good to be in my own bed again, seeing my friends, my family. That's been smooth. I got back here on Friday, so this is my third full day home. So I'm just taking advantage of it, so I can't complain too much. I wish I was able to come home on a Grizzly win when I did get home on that Friday, but we will talk about that later. But other than that, I'm blessed. I'm glad to be alive in my own house, so cannot complain too much. But let's get all the niceness out the way. Let's talk about some football. The first thing on the No Bluffing news. Jared, turn up in the headphones real quick.
Let me get there.
Yep.
Hey, there we go.
Yes, sir. Turn up in the headphones. The first news topic today is Friendo. How you pronounce his name? Mendoza? I said Mendoza. I was thinking about Barbosa. Mendoza. I don't know why was Leandro Barbosa. Won the 2025 Heisman Trophy over Diego Pavia, Jeremiah Love, and Julian Sayin. It was a landslide. I saw the vote count. Mendoza had 643 first place votes. Everybody's been talking about how this Heisman race wasn't as exciting as years past, especially last year with like Travis Hunter and Ashton Jeanty. But I think it was kind of foregone conclusion after Mendoza won the Big Ten championship game, led to Indiana being undefeated on the season, and then, of course, getting a number one seed going into college football playoff. Everybody knew that he was probably going to be the Heisman, but I did not expect for it to be that lopsided. So what was your thoughts when on Saturday night he was announced as the Heisman for the 2025 season?
What was that? I was at work Saturday. That's what I was. And watching wrestling. But
yeah, some good stuff later.
But I mean, I wasn't shocked that he won it. I think winning the Big Ten championship, like you said, solidified it for him. And I kind of agree with the whole sentiment of this Heisman race, and this year's Heisman wasn't as good as it really should have been, years past. Because you look at what Travis Hunter did when he won it, and like the race between him and Jeanty was spectacular. Both superstars, college superstars, had a good chance to win it, and they both had the numbers to win it. This year, I think Mendoza had 2,000 less yards than Travis Hunter did. It just didn't feel like a spectacular Heisman race. I think they got it right, but It just didn't feel like as exciting. There weren't a lot of like memorable moments, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no one in at least the four finalists had like their Heisman moments this year, and that's what, of course, when you go through the whole season, that's what you're looking for, you know? Like Travis Hunter last year, he had the game against Baylor, where I think it was against Baylor, where he had the forced fumble at the end, and then he had like over 100 yards that game. And he
single-handedly won quite a few games on that for that Colorado team that year.
Yes, he did, on both sides of the ball. Of course, Ashton Jeanty, even though he didn't win last year, he was steamrolling through the Mountain West. and setting records on top of records and all that. And he had his Heisman moments throughout the year. So this year,
he did it against Oregon in week 2 when they had that quote unquote bye game for a big conference playing a smaller conference. But it's just one of those things, like, they had big time games, and just this year, like we've kind of harped on, just didn't feel Heisman-y. It didn't feel like there were any true Heisman moments. Where last year you had those two, what's the term? Not front horses, front runners. There it is.
Yeah.
The two front runners who, each week it was like, okay, one of them played in the early slate, one of them played in the late slate, or they're both playing late slate. You see, Ashton Genty breaks off a 65-yard touchdown run. Travis Hunter interception, then catches a touchdown on the other end. It's just one of those things, like, we didn't have any of those moments this year, it felt like.
Yeah, and I really hope this doesn't start a trend. Last year we saw two guys come from two schools that are not perennial powerhouses in Colorado and Boise State. This year we saw Indiana, who hasn't been a powerhouse over the past few years. I feel like that's why he won it, because like Indiana just came from the depths of mediocrity to like a very good football team this year. So I feel like that's the reason why he
Notre Dame.
Same with Notre Dame, exactly. We had Ohio State with Julian Sand and Piavia. Vanderbilt hasn't been doing their thing, but now he's been playing well. So I hope we see maybe next years past these guys from these smaller schools, at least these non-powerhouses, to kind of keep that going.
Yeah.
But I think I was looking at stats earlier. I know he had under 3,000 yards passing. I know he had under 30 touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah.
That doesn't jump off the page to like he's the best player in college football. Like that doesn't jump off the page. I'm not taking anything away from him. He played who's in front of him. He led his team to an undefeated season. He won. He played clean football. But that just doesn't jump out the page. If I'm just gonna look at it, if we took the name away from it and just dropped the stats, that doesn't seem like that's the guy that should be the best player in college football.
Yeah, and it just in the entire race this year, it just didn't feel like we had somebody who was single-handedly winning teams games. Like
100%.
I think you can take Pavia off that team and replace him with a quarterback who maybe is stronger. Like Pavia wasn't the best passer.
Yeah, he wasn't.
You can take. I think you can take Pavia off that Vanderbilt team because Clarke Lee is a great coach and they run a good system now at Vanderbilt. I think that offense is going to be better with a true freshman quarterback and Jared Curtis next year. I like Pavia. I like that he was. Let me rephrase that. I like Pavia. Some of the antics this weekend were kind of crazy.
Oh yeah.
But it's just like I kind of hate that we're talking about the most prestigious college award, and now it just feels like A, there were no game changers that felt like that stood out. B, it kind of just felt like they handed it to the best or to the quarterback on the number one team.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we've seen with the MVP in the past few years, where we're just giving to the guy who's the best player on the number one seed. There's a few years where we thought LeBron should win it, but he didn't win it because he or the Cavs weren't the number one seed. And then
voter fatigue as well.
Voter fatigue as well. So I really hope this doesn't turn into a trend where we're just going to default, give it to the best team. And I really hope, because of the transfer portal, like, teams aren't just so stacked where no one wins just by one player and wins by committee. Like, for good football, that's great. But we're talking about individual awards. That I feel like that parity, it doesn't allow guys to be the reason guys are winning football games.
Yeah, 100%. I'm curious now because I want to look at Trinidad Chambliss, who got late Heisman consideration. Mm-hmm. The quarterback for Ole Miss. But obviously he didn't start from the very beginning. I just want to know his stats, because if he would have gotten those like first two games, I think he didn't play this year. Excuse me, sorry. Let's see here. 3,000 passing yards, 18 passing touchdowns. And what's the rushing stats? 470 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. So not great, but better than Mendoza's stats were.
Yeah.
And that's with him
playing 2-3 less games.
Yeah, two full less games. He got 6 passing attempts against Georgia State, but that's garbage time. After I think Austin Spencer's their main quarterback's name got hurt, and he didn't play at all against Kentucky. I think if he plays those first 2 games, you see the passing yardage number be closer to 3,500, and you may see like 24 touchdowns. And I'm giving him 3 touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns there, because later in the season he had 4 passing touchdowns and a 3 passing touchdown game. And then you see those rushing numbers take a little bit of a leap up as well. I don't know, when a quarterback who didn't even make it to New York, wherever they hand out the award, had better stats than Mendoza
in 2 less games.
In 2 less games. And I don't know. Like, that was just an example. I'm sure there's other stats out there. It was just Trinidad Chambliss was the first name to pop into my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those things, man. Like, just a down year for the most prestigious college award.
Honestly, the guy that came to my mind when you were talking, who I feel like should have got more consideration, I can't remember the guy's name. It was the linebacker outside of Texas Tech. I can't think of the guy's name because Texas Tech was very good this year. He had a great year. He was doing it in the pass game and the running game.
The linebacker?
Yeah, I think he was a linebacker. I think for Texas Tech. I may be getting him wrong. Just look up Texas Tech's best player. Probably. Because he could have been up for the
linebacker. Oh, what's the first one that popped up? Let's see. 61 tackles, 1 sack, 7 forced fumbles and 4 interceptions.
Yeah, that's who it is. Jacob Rodriguez. That's when you say a guy that's like, again, Texas Tech is a great team. They have a great defense, but like, who's like the spearhead of that attack? Yeah. I feel like he should have got some high consideration. I know it's hard to give it to a defensive player, but he was playing his tail off all year.
When was the last time we saw a primary defensive player win it?
Charles Woodson?
Yeah, Charles Woodson.
I think that was 1998,
I think. No,
95, 92.
It was somewhere between 95 and 98. Had to be.
So it's been over 20 years since a defensive player.
It's been almost 30.
God dang. Okay, we need to change. We need to change that. Oh, we need to change that. That's who. Of course, if I had a vote, I would at least had him on the ballot. At least, because he had a great year. But yeah, the Heisman Trophy, down year, but hopefully next year we see a jump in the production, and obviously we'll see how these guys fare. At least some of these guys fare in the college football playoff or in the bowl season. The next topic of the day is Mr. John Cena's.
Oh no! Oh,
we're good. We can go to the KC one.
No, go. You lead this show. I almost hit the wrong thing.
Mr. John is Felix Anthony Cena Jr. because his name is John Cena Jr. Yes, this is full government name. Are you with me? What's going on?
Trying to make a timer. I don't want it to time, but okay.
Yeah, but yes, I wanted to do this one second because we can't talk about this one for too long. But yes, he retired this past weekend. The GOAT. Everyone knows me and Jared are wrestling fans, and I had a little watch party at my homeboy's house watching that Saturday night main event, the 4-match card, and he went out very controversially. John Cena, who never gives up, tapped out to Gunther after
21 years.
For the first time in 21 years, after a 25-minute pretty good match. The crowd was very upset with one Paul Levesque, aka Triple H. What was your thoughts on how the GOAT John Cena went out, and is he your GOAT? Because I don't want to assume that he's your GOAT, but is he your GOAT, and how did you feel like how he went out?
Just from like childhood growing up wise, like I'm kind of torn on GOAT wise between him and The Rock, and seeing Stone Cold more and more as I grew up as well, seeing him. Let's see. Initial reaction, I hated how the match went. Like, I would not have been. I wasn't mad that he lost. I was mad that that's the way they did it.
Yeah.
Because, like, you look in the past, everyone who, besides people who have come back, like Hulk Hogan went out on a loss, Ric Flair went out on a loss, the Heartbreak Kid went
Shawn Michaels, yep.
And, like, all of them, like, that's the trend, that's the tradition in WWE. You go out on your back. And I'm
looking at King. He's
I know. He said this earlier today, or I think it was either him or someone else. They said it on stage show.
That's hilarious. Oh, my bad. Keep going.
No, you're good. No,
that's hilarious.
But I went, if they were gonna go the whole submission route, make it like, don't make him tap, make it pass out, like make him like barely be able to get up from the ring, and whatnot. Like, I would have loved for Cena to go out on a win because to change it up a little bit. But I mean, it's tradition. You go out on your back. I mean, The Rock, I don't remember his last actual match apart from the tag match where he got the pin over Cody.
John Cena versus him in 29. That was his last actual one-on-one singles. Well, you had the little squash match at WrestleMania 30 against the Wyatts, but we're not counting that. Like, an actual match was him versus Cena at 29 for the title.
Yeah. So, like I said, like it is tradition. I'm not mad at the way. I'm not mad that he went out on a loss. I'm more of upset of how they went about the loss because he still had some fight into it. Now, when you break down the whole, they didn't really have a true set storyline. We can talk about this on another show because the whole retirement tour got messed up by one particular person in February. Sorry to some of y'all's goats, but Dwayne Johnson took over and
you bald fraud.
Yeah,
Dwayne, you bald fraud.
Bald fraud. Undertaker technically did have a retirement match. I think that was the one against AJ that he won.
Boneyard, yeah.
The Boneyard that he won during COVID, which was probably one of the best matches they could do during COVID like circumstances.
Yeah.
Conversation for another day as well. But
his last regular match was against Roman at WrestleMania 34 or 35. It was 34 or 35, I think.
Was it Roman? I thought it was Brock.
No, Brock when he beat the streak at 30. Yep. But then he wrestled Bray Wyatt, beat him, and then
that was
he wrestled. And then AJ was the last one. Then he did Roman, then he did Cena, then he did AJ.
All right. Well, okay, so I think if you I'm gonna go back real quick here because I think if you go back to February and you don't do the whole heel turn angle because Cena was never meant to be a heel. And just that got obviously, we know how that went.
Yeah.
I think the original plan would have been to have Gunther at Mania.
You mean Gunther versus Cena at Mania?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like that would have been the original plan because it's just one of those things like Gunther was a beast entering into the year, and obviously we saw how he got booked earlier in the year. But I don't know. Just the whole retirement tour, I feel like it went off in the right way story-wise because he said Cena has said repeatedly that he's at peace, knowing that his body can't go anymore. And you kind of saw that little smile he gave as he tapped out. Yeah, I know. It sucked. But, I can see that aspect of it. I just wish he wouldn't have went out in a passing out way. I don't know. It's just, the whole thing felt off since Elimination Chamber. That's the whole reason.
Yeah, I had mixed emotions about it. Well, my first initial reaction was just shock. I have a video on my phone. I can't find my phone right now, but all my friends, we were just sitting there just shook. Because the storyline was Gunther, the little storyline they had was Gunther was going to make him tap and make him give up and all that. So I get you want to pay that off.
Yeah.
But that's going against his one character trait of never giving up. He tells all these Make-A-Wish kids, all these tour things he does in charity events, don't give up, still keep fighting, yada, yada, yada. And you let the one guy give up when he wasn't supposed to. There's nothing you can say to me. What you said makes sense, but there's nothing you can say to me that said that the one character trait, it's like when Austin did the turn heel and win Corporation. It's just against his whole character.
Against his whole character. Yep.
And I don't care if he's going out the building or not. You have to stay true to the character.
You do.
And I hated that. The whole retirement tour, I know some people are mixed on it. I'm kind of towards more a positive because yes, the initial heel turn was great. It's just the follow-up was bad. Yeah, the shock of it and all that was great. I think that's a good question. Put King Meeks on it.
Yeah, I have one of his comments starred for after you give. I don't think he does lose.
I personally think Cena was Vince's guy, and I don't think he's gonna let Cena go out like that, especially to a guy that's not a champion at least. But
Vince was Cena, yes, Vince had his guys from the start of WWE, but Cena was the first the guy,
face of the company, all that. Yep. And now you see Cody has that. I liked everything except the follow. Actually, I like the follow, but the heel turn. It's just the fact that they put Dwayne and Travis in it. If they just did the heel turn just strictly without Dwayne and Travis, I'm fine. Because for the audience, it led that thing where we're just waiting for Dwayne to come back, waiting for Travis to come back. And the fact that they had no intention of paying that off, it just kind of sucked the air out of the whole heel turn. I like the match with CM Punk. I like the match with Randy. I even like the R-Truth stuff. I liked all of that. I hate the actual WrestleMania match. I hated that. That was terrible.
I'm so glad they followed that up at SummerSlam with what
they did. I like the whole thing where he took heel for the few months. He was rebelling against the fans, and then I wish they could have did the face turn a little better instead of just being on a random Friday. It was like, hey, I'm good now. Like,
I think that was just a personal spit into the face of a certain somebody as well. Because
you bald fraud.
Yeah, which one? Realistic of it. Outside of character wise, Cena was just mad at that point. I feel like, and so I feel like that's why he just got it. And honestly, from then on out, I love just running back classics apart from Brock.
Oh, that was terrible. Wrestlepalooza was terrible.
Yeah, Wrestlepalooza was awful all around. But everything else, AJ, dude, the AJ match is probably my favorite match on that tour.
Facts.
I like that he got his Grand Slam against Dom.
Yep.
But I want to go back to this because I have this starred from Meeks.
Yeah.
I like who they had him against. I like it simply because, okay, let me rephrase that. I like that. I like what they are setting Gunther up for. WWE hadn't had since Roman, haven't had a
big bad.
A true big bad.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Gunther's not everyone's favorite. He's a little bit slower, but he's very technical in ring.
Yeah.
You're setting him up for generational heat, and if y'all are watching Raw, there's a certain tidbit in there right now where he's setting up a little bit of a feud with AJ. It looks like they're setting him up to be Legend Killer 2.0, and for a guy like Gunther's character and stature, I kind of like that. When Cena said he wanted to let Saturday Night's Main Event be about younger talent, I wish he would have gotten a young talent like someone who was already up like a Carmelo or a Braun. Because you're talking about just Saturday Night's Main Event in general. Before the DQ interference finish, which was crap, Oba was cooking. Oba has probably my favorite entrance in WWE right now. Just with dude, literally, it's like found myself doing it around the house on Sunday. Amy looking at what are you doing? But and then you have Javon, who quite literally has springs in his knees. He's that boy bouncy, as he says.
Yes, he is.
You could have done it so many different ways, but it's a great career from Cena. I still have a lot of mixed feelings about how it all fits.
I'm in the same boat. I personally, on the whole Gunther thing, I'm not saying I'm a Gunther hater. I just don't see the hype of making him like as believable as a big bad. Do I feel like he's a pretty good promo? I feel like his style is pretty good in the ring when he has like other like big beefy guys to go up against.
It's a lot more older school.
Yeah, it's like when he's going against Drew or Sheamus, like those are great matches. But even his match against Pete Dunne, even though Pete Dunne's in NXT UK, like that was a great match.
Yeah.
But just for me personally, I don't, because he's not entertaining enough to be a big bad in my opinion. Like with Roman was a big bad, but he was entertaining while still being a heel.
Yeah, and I think one thing too with being big bads as well, Evan, you kind of have to have something or like something around you as well, because Roman had the Usos and the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Gunther used to have Ludwig and Da
Vinci, yeah, Da Vinci.
But I mean, like, because he used to have that whole Imperium squad.
Yeah.
And like another one he had a good match with against in NXT, Ilya Dragunov.
Yes.
Like.
First guy who beat him, yeah.
Yeah, first guy who beat him. So, like, there's certain things that Gunther's lacking to your point.
Yeah. So, for him to be the guy to tap out who's in opinion my GOAT, like, in my opinion, John Cena is the GOAT when it comes to just, like, he was the face of the company, carried the company for 20 plus years, never left. Like, that's why he's my personal GOAT. We're talking about just straight who's the best wrestler of all time, like, who just does everything good from promo to in-ring to all that. In my opinion, is Shawn Michaels. Yeah. Just who does everything great. I'm not talking. I'm saying strip accolades. Just how they good at being a professional wrestler is Shawn Michaels, in my opinion. But for my childhood, I wanted him to go out, if he was to lose, go out like you said to a young guy. I wish Oba would be the guy to retire. That's who I wanted to retire, because he has the look. He's young. He can go in ring. I personally think it should have been Oba. Like you could have had Saints, not Ricky Starks. He's not Ricky Starks anymore. Ricky Saints still win and have
some assists here in a minute.
Oh, you can't do that, brother. Yeah, I would have had him and Cody, and to have Oba be the guy to win the tournament, and I feel like that would have been a better way to go out.
Yep.
Because I feel like that's better than a Gunter like King Meek said, who's 38, who's already won the world title. He's already the greatest intercontinental champion of all time, like length of reign. Whereas like he's already at the top of the mountain. Yes, you can make him a legend killer, but like I don't see many notches for him to go. You see what I'm saying? Like he's already a main eventer. He's already a WrestleMania main eventer caliber type of guy. So why push him even more?
Which also makes me wonder, with AJ being set to retire this next year, the rumors coming out about Brock retiring at SummerSlam next year, if they're just literally going to be like, hey, Gunther, go out and retire these people and just get it done with, pretty much. Kind of what it feels like.
But that doesn't move me.
No, it doesn't move me either. But like I'm saying that, like, it just kind of feels like that's where they're going. Like, hey, you retired Goldberg and you retired Cena, and now you got a chance to go retire 2 more in the next year.
I don't know.
Okay, so
yeah.
Good.
It's just Triple H. I still believe in Triple H as a booker. It's just I'm gaining less and less confidence in him, because just the maniacal laugh he had on his face after the crowd was chanting "You effed up" and "F you, Triple H." Like I'm slowly losing more confidence in. Like 2023, 2024 was peak. Like the culmination of the Bloodline story to WrestleMania 40 was great. We had Sammy overcoming Gunther. We had. And even 39, we had the tag match that main evented, like all of that. It's just, I'm just losing confidence in him now.
Okay. So I've noticed something ever since the Money in the Bank last year, where Drew won and Tiffy won, where Cena announced his retirement in Toronto. I've noticed Triple H be hesitant on a lot of things. And I feel like he was trying, and I'm like, this could be a thing. I'm not defending freaking Hunter Hearst Helmsley and I think this could just be a thing where he was so kind of distracted about, you know, how this whole 2025 heel thing with the whole Cena retirement run was going to go.
Yeah.
Maybe his whole like decision making on certain things was kind of put off to the side, because I don't know. I also feel like we're about to get this next young batch of NXT people up here as well, because SmackDown last Friday felt so refreshing with Javon and Oba. It felt, and even Soul, I think, made an appearance. It felt so refreshing with the younger generation coming up, and so I think we're headed into a better direction. I think 2026 will be a little bit better now that we don't have a full-fledged retirement tour trying to overtake all of WWE's programming. So I will hold out hope on that aspect of it, because I feel like there's something fresh about to happen. Maybe not like tonight on Raw, next these taping. I feel like after the new year turns.
Yeah.
Because we're in the holiday season, they're taping like 3 different shows this week after tonight's Raw. So I don't know. I'm holding out a little bit of hope.
The reason why I say I slightly disagree with you, because like you said, we could see AJ, Lesnar, and potentially a returning Chris Jericho all retired next year.
But you don't get a full year's retirement tour worth of those people, though.
That's true, because they're rumoring that Lesnar could retire at SummerSlam, so that's until August. AJ, he's gonna probably finish the whole year.
They said AJ, he's gonna get. He said WrestleMania this year, or this upcoming year, will be his last WrestleMania. So it could be any time after that. Yeah,
so anytime between April and December. And Jericho, he's even signed a contract yet, so we don't know. So we don't know. It's just, if I'm not saying you're inherently wrong, but if that's the reason why his decision making has been kind of handicapped, I'm not confident going to next year that we have 3 more Hall of Famers retiring next year as well. You know,
I just don't think there's going to be a whole set of programming set around just those 2 guys retiring.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that. Like, we had 36 states that we had to hit, we had to use up and all that, and which kind of restricted some things.
And I know he made double appearances in some weeks, and some of those are PLEs, but that's roughly an appearance every 2 weeks, like 1 or 2 appearances every like 2 weeks, considering, you know, he made multiple a week at some spots.
Yeah.
I don't know. that's why I'm trying to hold out a little hope. So,
yeah, y'all let us know what y'all thought of John Cena's retirement and who's your GOAT. But the last
I'm on that. I think we meant to.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we have two wrestling fans. It's hard to keep us restrained.
Oh yeah.
But we're gonna get this next news topic out the way pretty fast. Is the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty over? I know Jared is happy about this because
where's Chris Ingram?
where's Chris Ingram? Because his favorite team and Chris Ingram's favorite team is the Denver Broncos, who's obviously, what's up, Tolliver, who is also in the Kansas City Chiefs division, and they have been eliminated from playoff contention for the first time since 2014. And at the same time, Patrick Mahomes unfortunately did tear his ACL in the last game against the Los Angeles Chargers. So, no Pat Mahomes in the playoffs. So the Chiefs will not repeat the AFC Championship game, and they will not repeat the Super Bowl. So, do you think the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty is now over, Mr. Jared Davidson?
Let me preface this by 100% saying I am not happy Patrick Mahomes got hurt, because I know as
going to say something so grimy.
Because I know as this statement may progress, and knowing my Broncos fandom, it can maybe seem that way. Now, I don't think it's fully over. I think it's over if Andy Reid stays. I think they're going to have to. I think the Chiefs are. Hang on. I think the Chiefs are going to have to make a decision, like the Eagles did with Andy Reid, and it's going to be to have to let him go or not. Mahomes has obviously not liked the play calling this year. You've seen flashes of it. When Bieniemy was there, and the reason he couldn't get a head coaching job is because he's just one of those people that's great as a coordinator, awful as a head coach. That was Mahomes' best years. Ever since Bieniemy's been gone, and it's been Andy Reid who's truly been calling plays, it's been shaky. They need to hit on this draft. They're going to have a decent draft pick without being in the playoffs this year. Mahomes should be ready by September. It's about a 7 to 9 month recovery for an ACL. They said there was no other major damage to any other ligament, so it's just strictly ACL recovery. They have to hit on this draft. They need someone who can run the ball. They need a bona fide wide receiver one as well.
Yes, they do.
Like Rashee Rice, great, but he's not your number one guy. It's kind of the same problem the Broncos have. Cortland Sutton, love him. Troy Franklin, love him. They're not wide receiver ones. They need a wide receiver one. Their defense hasn't been bad. Their defense has kept them in games this year.
Yeah.
And so I'm not gonna say. Ask me this question in April after the draft. I don't think that it's completely over yet. I mean, we saw what happened with Tom Brady and them. Brady tore his ACL, went a few years without a Super Bowl appearance, made it back, and then he ended up winning 4 more in his career. 4 more with the Patriots. So I'm not going to say it's completely over, but they have to hit on the right pieces and maybe make a bold move of changing head coaches. So it's just one of those things where it's really dependent on how they approach this offseason, because you cannot run it back with all the current pieces you have on this team right now.
I see a full revamp of the offense. I am not fully there with you on Andy Reid not being there, because I feel like Andy Reid's going to have that job as long as he wants to have that job, being that he had, even after Eric Bieniemy left, they still won a Super Bowl without him. So you got to give him credit. They still won a Super Bowl without him. That's the first thing. Number 2, being that Pat is done for this season, it can make on to next season. I'm going to assume Travis Kelce is also about to retire, meaning
he's lost a step.
Yeah, he's lost his step. He's making so much money off the field. His number one guy who's kept him not kept him relevant, but kept him getting the ball in his hands, because he's not an all-pro tight end anymore. Like he's not a Pro Bowl tight end anymore.
You can barely block as a tight end too.
And he was never a great blocker. No. So Travis Kelce is probably going to be out the door, and he's finna make a big bag because he's marrying the richest superstar in the world. For better or for worse. Like you said, they don't have a wide receiver one. Rashee Rice is good. Xavier Worthy is good. Hollywood Brown is good, even though they didn't have him for the whole season. They need a certified receiver one, even if that comes in the draft or whatever. The offensive line needs a full revamp. This is the most he's been sacked in his whole career. The reason why
only one of those guys keeping that's Trey Smith.
Exactly. So I just see a full revamp of the offense. I still believe, and I need to put out I don't have a fandom. I'm not a Titans fan. There's no team set in Memphis, so I have no like set football team. I support. Let me just say this: I support the Chiefs because they have a black quarterback, even though he's mixed. I support the Eagles because my dad grew up me watching Michael Vick on the Eagles. That's when I first started understanding football. So I respect the Eagles. And I'm a Suho Seahawks fan. That's the first team I chose myself to support. But Russ Wilson isn't there anymore. So I don't have a set team. I have players I support. So I don't really have a really dog in this fight at all.
You could just join me.
I could. I was there for 1 year because Russell Wilson was there, but that was one of the worst fan experiences of one.
Tell me about it. Unfortunately, in my closet, that's right over here off screen. I have I'm pretty sure a jersey that the tag hasn't been taken off yet of Russell Wilson, an orange Broncos jersey, and I don't know. It hasn't seen the light of day. It has not seen the light of day.
I was the one guy because I followed this I have to show you. It's Mile High Report on Twitter. I followed that page, and I was that one guy that comments Russ is still good. Just believe in him because I watched him in Seattle. I was a fan, and it just never materialized. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I can't keep being a Broncos fan. I was like, this is terrible.
Sean Payton also hated. So he got put under Nathaniel Hackett, who was one of the worst head coaches ever.
Yeah,
fired before even finishing his first full year, and then Sean Payton hated him.
So that was rough. But the reason go back to that, I don't think the dynasty is over as long as Pat Mahomes is the quarterback of that team. In my opinion, I'm not saying he's the greatest quarterback ever because obviously that's Tom Brady, but I feel like he's the greatest thrower of the football we've ever seen. That's just my humble opinion. It's either him and Aaron Rodgers. Those are the two greatest throwers of the football that on God's green earth. As long as he has an arm and he can somewhat move, and hopefully, God willing, his ACL repair goes well, they're always going to have a puncher's chance to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they just need a full revamp on offense. Of course, you can't just do that one off season. That may take a year or two, maybe a 1 or 2 drafts. But as long as they have Pat Mahomes, they're going to have a chance. I hate that he got hurt, and it's kind of eerie that him and Brady got hurt at the same time with the same amount of Super Bowls under their belt in the same time of year.
History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes.
Yes, it often rhymes. So if y'all are tired of him now, if they're going off of history, he may win 3 or 4 more Super Bowls too, and I don't know what y'all going to say at that point. But I hate to see it, but I am looking forward to a new AFC King. I don't know who that's gonna be. Maybe the Broncos. Right now, y'all are my pick, but y'all are still y'all were in a fighter's chance with the Packers.
Bo Nix played his best game of the year last night.
Yes, he did. He did play his best game of the year. That's been my own. You have a great defense. You have decent receivers. It's just Bo Nix has to do his thing. So as long as he does his thing, y'all be a new AFC King. But I'm not cemented on that yet. But I am happy to see a new AFC King come. Lamar, no. Lamar, no. As much as I love Lamar Jackson, he's burned me too many freaking times. Same thing with Josh Allen. Same thing with Joe Burrow. They've burned me too many freaking times.
Lamar's playing hurt, trying to keep that team alive right now.
That's true.
That's his bad play.
That is true. So just don't play, bro. You have a terrible offensive line. You have
one has to win the AFC North.
That is true, but that's such a bad division. I thought that division was gonna be so good going into the year. You have what used to be our prime Derrick Henry. He's not in his prime anymore. So what he's gonna say. But King Meeks has a question. What does Joe Burrow do this offseason? Joe Burrow may retire. He sounded like he may not be here next year. He may not be here, bro. They're doing the Andrew Luck track where he just can't find an offensive line to save his freaking life, and he's freaking sad. He's depressed. He's getting hit 15, 20 times a game. Talent wise, he may be one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league, especially that we've seen in this decade.
Yeah.
But he can't get freaking help, and he can't get protect. He has arguably one of the best wide receivers in this decade in Jamar Chase. He has arguably the best wide receiver too in T. Higgins, but he can't get an offensive freaking line. So he may not even be here next year. They may be trying to find a new freaking quarterback in the draft because, again, another talented guy that just can't get an offensive line. It's not. So I don't know, man. I don't know. So the AFC is wide open. I'm ready to see a new AFC King. It's just I hate that it came to an ACL.
Yeah, I never want to see injuries. You always want to see a fall off simply because other teams rose to the occasion and got better, or it's just they just fall off themselves.
Yeah.
But you never want to see it because of an injury. They were already down before the injury. They just have not had a great year. I'm gonna be hesitant to say it's over because this is the first bad year we've seen from them in 7-8 years.
Yeah.
So time catches up to you. You're bad at some point. But I would not be shocked next year if they make the right moves in the offseason. That's going to be probably the most intriguing offseason to watch.
Facts.
Because with the ACL tear happening when it did, the timeline lines up like right for week 1. And so I mean, it's just one of those things, man. They hit in the draft, they hit in free agency, which there's going to be some good wide receivers who want off their current teams right now coming up. So who knows? It's still to be seen, but I don't think it's completely over yet. If they have a bad all season, then I'll pull the trigger.
I heard Twitter say even though he can't go to the league after next year, they're saying the NFL guys are punishing them right now so they can get Jeremiah Smith when he comes out of Ohio State. I was like, bro, if that happens, they're going to be insufferable.
There's already some good wide receivers that are coming out of this class too, but please no.
That would be insufferable. But that's all we have for No Bluffing News. Clearly, we were on this for way too long than we thought. 42 minutes. This like me and Chris type timing.
Hey, Grizzlies only had one game.
Yeah,
last week, so.
we gotta pad the runtime somehow. But yeah, that's all for No Bluffing News. We will be back after a small 2-minute commercial break. Evan Hayes, Jared Davison. We'll be right back.
How much of this is fixable with time?
I mean, I think you can maybe see the effort get better. I think they can probably rebound a little better, and they can start getting the right guys the ball more often. But beyond that, I think it's pretty fair to say that this team is capped to a certain extent. You may just be what you are.
If the question you're asking is what is fixable, and if it's fixed, will it produce what we saw last year or the year before, whatever it may be? If that's the ultimate goal, that might not be a proper goal for this team. The goal is to get the team fixable to where they can win the conference and make it to the NCAA tournament and then potentially do some damage as they go into the NCAA tournament. There are some things that are fixable. There are some things on this that we saw out there that are absolutely fixable.
Tune in to Tigers Live with Francis Carlotta, live after every Memphis Tiger basketball game on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Calling all Tiger fans, your place to watch the first round matchup between the Memphis Tigers and number 1 ranked Purdue Boilermakers is at Mugshots Grill and Bar in Collierville, Tennessee. 4:30 p.m. Thursday, November 20th. Come hang out with Bluff City Media at the South's premier sports bar. Great food, beer specials, and large television screens will make Mugshots the place to be to cheer on your Tiger basketball team. Also, Tigers Live, the premier Memphis Tigers postgame show, will be live after the game from Mugshots. Come hang out with us this Thursday.
Welcome back to the No Bluffing Podcast. I am Evan Hayes. That is Jared Davison. Of course, you can follow us at the No Bluffing Pod. You can follow me at E11 Hayes and Jared at JB Davison _ and follow us and everyone on the Bluff City Media Network. Obviously, we talked a lot about a lot of stuff that's not Grizzlies for like the first 40 something minutes of the pod, but it's good to throw in a variety of content sometimes, some wrestling, some college football, some NFL. So, we can talk about a little bit more than Grizzlies. being that the Grizzlies only had one game last week, and that one game was unfortunately a loss. So let's get into the week in review for the Grizzlies. Going into today, I honestly thought I was going to be talking about a 3-game winning streak, how the Grizzlies were just a game under 500, or maybe 2 games under 500 if we would have won that game against a struggling Utah Jazz team. But however, we did not win because we got the news, not the sole reason why we lost the game, but a big reason why, because we got another Grizzlies PR nightmare notification that star center Zach Edey will be out for at least 4 weeks with a stress reaction to his surgically repaired ankle this past offseason. It's not a new injury, but he had a lot of swelling and all that around his ankle, so that led him to being out.
Yeah, it's not even really an injury. It's just like they're taking a preventative measure. 4 weeks does seem excessive. We've seen everyone come back early from injuries, it feels like, apart from Ty Jerome right now. So, I don't know. 4 weeks seemed really excessive for the way they described it. I think if he progresses well, swelling goes down, and they can because remember, Edey came back early, and I don't think they truly got it strengthened back all the way it needed to be. Because, it was a surgery not because of a specific injury. It was because of constant ankle stuff that had happened in his rookie year, and just to prevent future stuff. And I don't know if his rehab just didn't respond well or what's strong enough. He felt fine. I mean, he told DeMichael Gold that he was 85% still in playing. He was just sore. And I just think it got to a point to where the training staff, medical staff saw it more and more. Like, hey, let's take a further look at this. And it just sucks that it came when we had 5 days off, 4 days off. That's the big thing. But I don't know. It sucks, but I think it's better for the long-term plan with Zach Edey. I think if the year started better than what it did, than being 4-11 at one point. Yeah. Like, we were 4-11 at one point, now we're 11-14. So we're still trending positive. We're 7-3 in our last 10, I'll take it. But that loss to the Utah Jazz, you're going to have bad losses from time to time. This just happened to be one of them. And we're now, 10-1 against teams under 500 when we play them? So.
Yeah, that was definitely, I think, our worst loss of the season. I know we've had some blowout losses in teams and games we didn't look competitive, but against the Utah Jazz team that was 8-14 or 8-15 going into the game with a team that's still trying to find their identity with a lot of young guys on the team, especially with a Ja Morant coming back. You wanted that to be the game where we just kept the positive momentum going. Speaking on Ja Morant, I thought he looked pretty decent. He had 21 points and 10 assists in 25 minutes of play. I still hate the whole minutes restriction, but I understand why. Just coming back, first game back.
Yeah, it's a calf injury too.
It's a calf injury, so I understand they're being super cautious with that. But I feel like he looked pretty good. I know he was kind of disappointed in his play after the game, saying that he should have played better and they need to sage the arena and all that. But if Ja Morant, he had a bad turnover at the end of the game, but if he makes a few shots, make a few floaters, we're probably talking about a Grizzlies win. So what would you think about Ja Morant's play and his return to play?
For the first time this year, the Grizzlies looked better with him on the court than with him off. Truly. And I didn't get to watch much of that game on Friday, but I was able to go back and watch bits and pieces of it. And yeah, it was night and day difference with Ja on the floor and not. What did Ja finish total stats wise? Ja had 21, was 5 of 7 from the free throw line. He was a +1. Only him and one other starter were pluses and the plus minus with him instead. So, I mean, I think he's going to be fine. I think that minutes restriction is going to slowly go away, obviously. But I don't know. I like the way he played. I like that we looked better with him on the floor than with off. Are we going to talk about the gigantic elephant in the room or no of that game?
Go ahead. Drop it, man. I'm with you.
We got to have a conversation.
We got to have a conversation.
Is it
time, Jared?
Ja does have to shoot better. I want to get the Kendarius comment. Ja has to shoot better. We know that's you get what you get with at this point in his career shooting wise.
Yeah.
That's why. I mean, he shot 2 of 5. He didn't take threes at the highest rate. He had 10 assists. So Ja played a typical Ja game in this system. I think we saw flashes of him getting better in the system.
Yeah.
He's not going to have his biggest benefactor with Zach Edey for a minute now, obviously. But I think Ja's going to ease into a more dominant Ja Morant that we've seen in years past.
Yeah. Go, just rip the band-aid off, man. Rip the band-aid off.
You make me so mad now. Like, I've been a Jaren supporter. I've been a Jaren Jackson Jr. supporter. He got to get out. I'm not.
Oh, you calling the shot now? I say, whoa.
He's got to get to a point. He's got to get to a point where I know we have gotten to a point where I don't know if we can get old Jaren back. Like, that's how mad I am at Jaren Jackson Jr. at this point. Brother, against the Utah Jazz. Did your mic disconnect somehow? Yeah,
I still hear you.
Okay,
you
something
good?
just got very loud in my ears. So I think we're good now.
Okay.
Okay. Jaren Jackson Jr. has got to play better, but I do not know if we can get to a point to where he is going to be what we saw last year before the ankle. That's where I think we are. As a player, you adapt to a coach's system. Jalen Brunson said it in an interview after the game with New York Knicks. He says, if I don't adapt, it starts with me, first off. It's like Jalen Brunson said, it starts with me, because if I don't buy in, what's that say to the rest of the team? And yes, people say, yeah, apply that to Ja Morant. No, Jaren Jackson Jr. has just gotten to this point where he's trying to fit in too much. And now it's hurt his game in the long run. He's missing shots so that he's never missed before. That's not the yips. That's you regressing and you sucking. That is not the yips. I'm tired. There's no more defending it. Either play better or get out of the way. Because right now, I don't know if Jaren Jackson Jr. he's been like a plus maybe in 3 of our 11 wins. Like, I'm tired of everyone putting the blame on Ja Morant not playing when your other supposed superstar, which he's not, is putting up those. When Cedric Coward is playing better, when Santi Aldama in his first game starting this year at the 4 dropped 22 points. It's not anymore. It's not even just about the rebounding. His overall game has sucked.
For context,
no longer Depoy. Like Depoy player Jaren, he's gone. That's gone.
For context, if everyone doesn't know his stats last game, Jaren had 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 for 13 from the field, 0 from the three-point line, 0 from 2 from the free throw line. I can't see his plus minus on ESPN, but I'm assuming use a -2.
-2 and a 4-point loss.
-2 and a 4-point loss. So it's a pretty great correlation right there. Yes, Jaren Jackson Jr. has not been good lately. I'm looking at his recent games right here, and it's really just been this past week. He had 7 points against the Spurs in a loss. He had 13 points against the Clippers in a 9-point win. He had 6 points in a blowout loss against the Portland Trailblazers, and of course 12 points last game. So I know it's crazy. You said what?
Trailblazers.
Yeah, since he's the Trailblazers.
That we beat them, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, we beat them. Yeah.
Blowout loss. I was like, hang on, we didn't lose to Portland.
I meant to say blowout win. My bad. I meant to say blowout win. And then 12 against the Jazz. Oh my God, that's a mean ass brain fart right there. But I know it's crazy for me to say that I'm trying to give Jaren like some time, because everyone knows me and Chris have had like conversations about it before Chris took his little hiatus. And if you was in the spaces last week, everyone knows what I can't say specifically what I said in the spaces now, because I want to give him some more time. But but it's to the point where it's hard for me to keep giving him patience, because if he's supposedly an all-star, he should be able to carry this team through these lumps, especially when we're thin in the front court. Yes, BC's coming back. We're going to talk about that in the next topic. But Jaren, I made the joke to my dad. When he changed his numbers, he lost his powers. It seemed like the number 8 just took all the powers away from Jaren, because he's not impacting game positively on either side of the floor. King Me said the comments a few comments ago, if you can find it. Kevin Love in 2025 outplayed Jaren Jackson freaking Jr. 36-year-old Kevin freaking Love outplayed 27-year-old Jaren Jackson Jr. in the year 2020 of 5.
I can live with Keontae George shot chucking on a bad team. Brother, you got outplayed by a guy who I don't know why he's not retired at this point. He's done all he can do. I don't know why Kevin Love's still playing basketball. Like, sir, go home to your family if you have one. You're stuck in Utah. I don't know, but I don't know if he's poor money management or whatnot. But
I feel like he's okay.
Retire. Yeah, no, he's okay. Retire. Go with your family. But Jared, there's no excuse to be outplayed by Kevin Love in the great year of our Lord and Savior 2025.
Kevin Love off the bench had 20 points in 20 minutes, might I add. He was a very efficient 20 points in 20 minutes. 8 for 15 from the field, 4 for 10 for 3, 8 rebounds. He out-rebounded you off the bench, might I add, and had 20 points. All right, look up his plus minus, please, if you can find it. I know your mic just went out. What was Kevin Love's plus minus that game?
I have StatMe's pulled up right here. Let's go ahead and look. Kevin Love off the bench plus minus a +6.
A +6, and you was a -2 to 35-year-old Kevin freaking Love.
Justin Nurkic also got 17 rebounds that game.
Like, I know rebounding is a thing we have to stop talking about, but at least be a presence. Marcus saw seeing his game as be traded.
To this, who was Tripp's vet? He was on that team with Mark.
Mark rebounded though a little bit though. Hey man, Mark rebounded still.
Jaren's best game this year was when he dropped 26 against New Orleans.
Against New Orleans, who has no interior presence at all.
In a game where he shot 6 of 23.
Like my whole thing was like when big dogs come to town, Jaren doesn't, reach to the level. Now is whoever comes to town. Now everyone's eating off his plate right now. Like Kevin Love and Yusuf Nurkic is outplaying him, and at home, might I add, is eating off Jaren Jackson Jr.'s plate. It's hard for me to keep giving him patience when Kevin Love and Yusuf Nurkic in 2025, might I add, is outplaying him.
Yeah,
I can't get over that, man.
I will say, we haven't had a true vet on this team since both of them have been here.
They're the vets. I can't lie. I don't like that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I hate that argument.
They're the vets now. They're the vets now. I'm saying let's see, when was Chris Wallace's last year? Was that 18?
Yes, Chris Wallace last year was 18.
So with Klyman being here, in his first draft being the John Morant draft and Brandon Clarke draft, Klyman never got them a vet. I will say that. That's one part I will put on Klyman. But also, too, we had this conversation the other night when Chris opened up spaces for a little bit. We haven't seen Jaren Jackson Jr. evolve his game. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, he's this ISO player. And, I can't remember who said it, but respect to them, we're saying, screw the system, Jaren, go do your ISO work. When you get the ball, do that. At some point, Jaren can't pass out of a double team. That's basic. But Jaren doesn't do any off-ball work. You watch him sit at the key. You watch him sit at the wing, and he does no off-ball work. It's give me the ball, I want to ISO. And, he's barely passing out of it. His same move is falling over to one side, jumping off one leg, getting shot like a shot put shot up. And it's the footwork hasn't looked great. He's been in the league since 2018 was his rookie year. This is his 8th year in the league. He has not evolved at all in a league where you have to evolve. Now, granted, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I hate to use his example, he stepped up his game, obviously, to what it is now. We hate watching it sometimes with all the foul stuff. But he learned from Chris Paul. Chris Paul was on that team with him. But we've seen other people, evolve and just
Anthony Edwards, Aaron Gordon. I can keep going.
Aaron Gordon. When Aaron Gordon went to Denver, everyone was like, okay, what's he going to do to this team besides being in a dunker spot? Because that's what he was when he was with Orlando. He learned how to shoot a 3-ball. He learned other facets of the game. Aaron Gordon learned. Jaren Jackson Jr. has yet to improve outside of anywhere of isolation on this team. I'm done defending anything with Jaren right now. Some people still defend him a little bit, but they are starting to slowly crack. The biggest thing with me is that he hasn't evolved his game, and there is a correlation that I want to watch that was brought to. I think Sane brought it up. How he plays with Ja, and I went and got the stats. How he plays with Ja. I think in 9 of the 13 games that they have played together this year. Aaron has shot 45% or better, or 50% or better. So hopefully it gets better now that they're back together playing a little bit more. But I don't, like we talked about earlier, I don't really have the faith in that really getting much better, because just watching Jaren play basketball, he looks like a blind dog who has lost his sense of smell.
That's a great analogy. That's actually a pretty freaking good analogy. I always say Bambi because he moves like an uncoordinated deer, but I think I like your analogy a little better. It's just when you have a team coming to town, the Utah Jazz, who have no all-stars, at least present all-stars, no top-tier All-NBA guys, and your so-called 2 best players are playing, you're expected to win that game. And I get one player was coming back from injury, and he still played an average game, but your other stars, at least to pick up the slack, that's when we always say about co-stars. Yes. And who's the proper co-stars for Ja. That's not what a proper co-star does. Like a proper co-star, okay, you still coming back, you're on a minute restriction, I can take the team over the hump. It gets a team that on paper we should be Zach Edey there or not. And that was just very disappointing to me. Ja played his game, and that's about the game I expected from Ja. Yes, he could have played better down the stretch, but
shot a little bit better, but he's coming back off injury. He shot 7 of 20.
10 games off. Like, he hasn't played organized basketball in almost 2-3 weeks. Like, I can understand that. But being that the guy who hasn't been out the lineup that long, who only missed a handful of games and has been there, and you can't lift the team up against Nusif Nurkic, Keontae George, and Kevin freaking Love, it's hard for me to go against that. And it goes to the other point, because I was watching GP's show. I don't want to advertise another show, but Gary Parrish, he's a friend of mine. Zach Edey is by far, at least currently, the most important player on the Grizzlies.
100%.
I really didn't think that was going to be my bingo card in the 2025-2026 season. It is crazy how the difference is being when he's on the floor and he's not on the floor. Like, the interior presence was 0 when Edey wasn't there in that game against Utah Jazz, and we saw what it was beforehand. I would love to see our points in the paint compared. Look at you, we were on the same freaking page.
Okay, from this past game, sorry.
Yeah.
We got out rebounded by 9, 58-49. They had 14 offensive rebounds to our 9. We lost the defensive rebound 44-40. Second chance points. Evan, we actually won the turnover battle for once. But second chance points. Let's see here. 24-14, and we lost by 4.
And that's because one guy isn't there. One guy shouldn't have that. And I don't care how good Zach Edey is and all his greatness. One player shouldn't have that big of a difference from interior presence to not having interior presence. So
I'm not going to say franchise player, but right now he's the most impactful because John Morant right now needs a big.
He does.
A big. Steven Adams. Hell, we had Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah, JV. Yeah.
Like someone, a big 7-footer who can set a screen and not like be a skinny 7-foot like Jaren, but like a stock 7-footer.
That's all we need. And I hope going to that, we can pivot into our next topic, being that we're over the hour mark, being that BC is coming back. I hope BC can bring in some of that rebound and toughness. And we got the news that BC, tonight's game, BC is doubtful, which is very surprised, being that the Grizzlies track record, he'll probably play again on Wednesday. So being that BC is back, we love to see the news that BC is back.
Questionable on Wednesday, probably.
Probably questionable on Wednesday. If he doesn't play Wednesday, he'll play the next game. We need that toughness on the inside that Edey brings consistently, and that's what this team is lacking. We always talk about early in the offseason about what the identity of this team is. Frankly, we still don't have one at all. But at least when Edey's there, we play with some toughness and some heart.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like this team plays harder. I'm trying to look at something with the Grizzlies right now, because I'm trying to see, because do we need 4 players that are out for 2 more weeks and that have all missed 4 games to get the hardship?
Yeah.
Let's see. Edey will be out for 4 weeks.
Excuse me.
Gigi's on the G League assignment still.
Drums out. Javon Small.
Okay, yeah, we're about to be eligible for it again once Conchar misses 2 more games after tonight. Once Conchar misses 2 more games after tonight, we're gonna get that. Evan, I want to bring back Charles Bassey.
At this point, why not?
He had 10 rebounds in 15 minutes against Houston and was a presence inside. The last NBA game he played, before we signed him to a 10-day, I think he had 18 rebounds with Atlanta, and I think T.I. realized it too late on the tail end of that 10-day hardship with Charles Bassey. I think that's when he realized that this team needs a big man for his offensive style to work, because I think his hardship was up either a day or two after that Houston game, and then Edey came back 2 weeks later in November, and the offense looked better. It's just, man, this team needs a presence inside, and I would not be mad at taking another flyer on Charles Bassey.
So I don't disagree with you, but do you think, being that BC is ready like this fast, do you think they're gonna get that hardship? Because I feel like if they're trusting BC to be healthy, I feel like they're seeing him to bring an inside presence. Yes, he's not a 7-footer, but he can rebound. He's a lob threat. I could see BC kind of jumping into that role.
He can, but then again, your front court depth is still very thin, because my hatred for Jock Landale.
Yes.
When I didn't put him back in the starting lineup after Edey got hurt, that was a hell.
That told a lot. Yes, it did. And Santi played well. Santi played well in that position.
Santi has thrived in the system this year. I'm glad that we're getting a much more consistent Santi Aldama than we have in years past.
Yep.
Santi, yes, they played him at the 4. He's not a big. He is a big 3, small 4. So that's just his position. We need that fourth big man. And with BC coming back, if Edey was healthy, that would give us that fourth big man. And right now we need that. And with these guys out, we have 4 guys out that are going to at least miss 2 more weeks. And once John Conchar misses, I believe, tonight, Wednesday, and then Saturday, I believe that gets us that hardship. If what I'm remembering from earlier in the season is correct. And we don't need another guard. Cam Spencer and Vince Williams have manned that well while Ja is out. Ja's back. We also, those are the main guards right now. You lose Giddey, which sucks. The Giddey being out is going to hurt a little more than people realize, because the 10-minute short burst of hustle that he gives is really good. But you need another presence down low. You need another 7-footer, as Kendarius says right here. Because Ty Jerome doesn't come back until mid-January probably.
Yeah, I can see that. The reason why I feel like they're bringing BC back so early. Well, first, I'm not gonna accuse them for rushing a guy back. No, let me not put that out there.
We've seen like 4 of our last 5 injured people have come back really fast.
Yeah, so I feel like the front office or like the medical team, they just overestimate what they think they're gonna be back from, and then come back from there. So let's say Edey doesn't come back for another 3 weeks. I feel like they're really playing BC in this stress, really get his trade value up.
True.
To potentially trade him at the deadline. Of course, I want to see what BC looks in this offense, because again, we haven't seen BC at all. We have not seen BC play a game under Coach Tomas Isilo.
No, so if he has any sort of the bounciness he had beforehand, which I think he's still going to be pretty decently bouncy down low. I'm hopefully that'll be good. But man, I don't know. I want to see how BC does. I hope we don't trade him, because he's just one of those Grizzlies that has been here for a minute and a great glue guy off the bench. So you you like him a lot. And I don't know. You just got to have another presence, because you can't have. I will be interested to see if they throw him right into the starting lineup. Now, go ahead.
Honestly, the first game they won't, but if he has a good showing in that second game, I feel like they will. Because I just think BC in the starting lineup next to Jaren makes more sense and looks a lot better from what we've seen off of history than Jaren and Santi.
Yep. And also, too, when this team's healthy, when Zach Edey gets back, I hate saying when this team's healthy, because we never are. But a Ja, Jalen, said BC, Zach Edey lineup to me sounds kind of terrifying. It's just one of those that you have athletes everywhere and then Edey down low. I love that thought of that lineup. I don't want to say, going back to your point about bringing BC back into this lineup right now, I don't want to say it's reactionary. It kind of feels a little reactionary.
I don't think so personally, but I see why.
I don't think it is. But just if you're looking at it just on paper, it kind of feels a little bit. But if you do remember, when he first had this knee cleanup surgery, they never gave a legit timeline after he had surgery like they usually do. It was a wait and see, and they said a timeline would come later. And then everyone got the 6 to 9 weeks part right after surgery somehow, and then they brought up that 6 to 9 week recovery about a month ago now. And now I feel like we're at the very beginning of that 6 week period. We're like, okay, hey, he got assigned to the hustle. He went to the hustle for practice. He looked really good. So maybe that giving no timetable and just letting him heal and not have a set date on that.
Yeah,
let that knee get better as we went on.
And that's what I'm hoping. I don't feel like they're going to bring a guy back when he's already hampered. If anything, I feel like Edie was a smidget like come back for need, because if they knew he wasn't 100%, they still brought him back. They was like, let's just see what happens because we kind of need you. Edie, if anything was reactionary, I feel like it was Edie. I feel like they're brought.
And then Jarrett last year to try to get him that 65 game.
Yeah. But I feel like this is more like, hey, he just seemed to be healing a lot faster than we think, so he's going to come back. But I know I'm jumping all over the place. It's just where my mind is going to.
We've both doing it all day.
Yeah. One thing I did like from what I saw from Ja, even though I feel like BC's going to work well with Ja, like he always did. Like that Ja and BC pick and roll lob, like did very good and fed a lot of families when they were on the court together. Yeah. And BC defensive versatility. So it's just and I could be completely wrong, something about how Ja Morant answered those questions to the media and how engaged he was defensively during that game against Utah. It makes me think he feels the pressure, and I feel like with BC coming back, that's going to galvanize him even more to lift this team up and play well over this next stretch of games until Edie comes back. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't know why. I just think Ja. It's been said Ja and BC are good friends on and off the court. They've talked about that. He get one of his guys back. For me, defensively, he looks engaged, and everybody knows when Ja's engaged defensively, he plays even better offensive end. Yep. I think Ja's gonna have a good game tonight, like King Meeks is saying. And this next stretch, especially with Edie out, I feel like we're gonna see back to that legit, like. Yeah, he has his lob threat back. He got his guys back in the lineup that he wants to play with. I feel like we're going to see one of the best versions of Ja Morant over the next few weeks.
I think we are too, and that's something like we're obviously not going to get BC back tonight because he has the doubtful tag.
Yeah,
which is in a game that tips off in still another hour. It's late night here in Tennessee. Yeah, but I think we are going to see a good stretch. And yes, Kendarius, I've seen your comments. Yes, I do think that BC has been a great benefactor of Ja. I think Ja has been a great benefactor of BC.
Facts.
Simply because Ja has a lob threat and Ja likes to throw those lobs. And then the threat of BC cutting opens up the lane for Ja Morant even more. So I think we're about to see a really good stretch of basketball from Ja Morant. Ja looks more revitalized now. And I want to get back to the questions of how he answered with the media. I liked how he answered with the media. Some people across national media, and then I think it was like Rusty and Drew talked about this today. They talked about his reaction to the question, and then I was like, "Hang on, like it's just one of those things." Like he answered the question, and he answered the question in a way like he's like, "I'll keep the answer to myself." But then you saw him think out loud and give an answer. It's a little bit of growth from Ja, and so I like his answers from the question. What do you ask me to explain?
I think he's saying that he explained. Ja Morant explained the answers, like he actually thought about it, and all that.
Saw him think out loud, and like I don't know what he kept to himself. He probably was about to have a very reactionary answer, like we've seen from Ja in the past. But then he sat back and thought about it because he's just trying to process what he sees on the court and how he can change that. But then he's basically. He summed it all up and saying, if I'm better, we also win. So he took a little bit of accountability. So I'm not mad with how he answered the media. Like, I like that he's thinking out loud and, processing questions now and not being immediately reactionary because, it's the heat of the game. You get after a loss to a team you shouldn't lose to, you're a little heated. So he slowed his mind down and thought about it. So,
yeah. He did, and go put King Meeks comment because he's gonna segue into Jaren. I don't know, but talk about the post game match because I can't predict Jaren Stallings anymore. We will be back in like another 3 hours for the post game bounce. We're doing the post game bounce, so yes, there will be a post game bounce with me and Jared probably around 11:30 because it's a 9:30 tip. So if y'all want to stay up and listen to our thoughts on tonight's game y'all can do that. But before we get out of here, we have to pay the bills.
Gotta pay him.
FanDuel pick of the week. I'm gonna go first because you always go first, and I want to get mine because I feel like we're gonna have the same one. I'm just betting on the Grizzlies tonight. They are a +5 favorite, -180. The line is 228.5. I think we win this game. We're playing the Clippers for the up team time. I feel like we played them like 10 times already this season.
The last time we played them this year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm so sick of seeing them, and it would just be our luck that we lose this game because we beat them the other few times. But I don't think that's gonna happen. So Grizzlies +5.5. If you want to.
Before this year, we had lost like 11 straight to the Clippers.
Yeah, so I guess fate is on our side now. So yes, I got the Grizzlies winning tonight. I got Ja going for 20+ and another 20+ double. So that's my best for the night.
Not my bet, but good Lord, you don't get Zumach's rebounds in plus odds until you get to 14. Yeah, that's not my bet, but you don't get him in plus odds until he gets to 14+ rebounds. You can't even bet on him to grab 4 or 6.
Yeah, because Edie isn't there, so they know that he's going to eat down low.
Edie isn't there. They know the other 6'11", 7-foot guy ain't going to rebound. My bet of the week is I'm gonna take Spurs money line tomorrow night at +120. I think Wemby's minutes restriction gets reduced a little bit. I think his minutes increase and the restriction decreases. So I'm gonna take the Spurs, for the positive, the +120 money line. I think they win. I think they take home the NBA Cup, and I think we get a really good game tomorrow night in that one. I'm gonna keep it simple. Take the money line. But yeah. So I had another thought in there, but I can't think of what it was.
If y'all want to make some money, hopefully our picks help y'all. To Memphis 10 boy. You're right, man. I should be more grateful. I think we need all the wins that we can get. So I think you're right, man. Maybe we should play the Clippers every night.
We just need everyone to be under 500.
Yeah, we play all the 9 through 15 seeds in the NBA and we'll be fine.
That would make us 77-5. Oh no,
something like that.
No, 70. No, it'd make us. It's weird. It's like you have 82 games. It'd make us like 77-5 if that were to happen. Jeez, that's just.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But we're finna get out of here. Y'all are gonna see our face in maybe about 3 hours again. So if y'all liked what y'all heard between me and Jared, y'all come back for the post game bounce. We have it tonight. But that's all we have for the post game. Now I'll say post game bounce. Wow, we're not on the post game bounce yet, Evan. We're not there yet. For the No Bluffin podcast, you can follow me at E11 Hayes. You can follow Jared at JB Davidson _. You can follow everyone on the Bluff City Media Network. You can follow this pod page at the No Bluffin Pod. It was a longer episode. I think the longest episode me and Jared had ever done together. I know this reminding y'all of me and Chris, but we're not going to try to do that all the time. It's just a one-time thing, hopefully. But we love y'all. Thank you for supporting us. As always, we say do something that makes you feel good. We'll see y'all in about 3 more hours. And as always, go Grizz.
Go Grizz. And in the words of 3-6 Mafia, we got a late night tip.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the No Bluffing Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of all things Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.